MailChimp templates are reusable layouts that you design and use to create campaigns, also known as email newsletters. You may have only 1 or 2 templates, or you could have dozens, depending on what types of campaigns you are sending. You may change your templates often, or you could create one and use it for years. The difference between a campaign and a template is this. A template is the starting layout for an email campaign that you will send. A campaign is the actual content you send to your list of subscribers. When you send a campaign, MailChimp will ask you what template you want to use. Most people prefer to brand the emails they send and use the templates that they set with colors, logos, styles, and fonts to match their emails with their unique brand. If you have multiple people on staff, perhaps an official marketing department, you may have someone in charge of designing the templates. But even if you're doing it all yourself, a template can be designed once and used many times, so it reduces the level of rework that you have to do for each of your campaigns. Some of the things you may want to collect before working on a template are the logo files, as well as your company's colors, and even your preferred fonts. To get started creating a template, you'll select the Templates button in the top. We have no templates yet, so we're going to click Create a Template to get started. You're presented with some options, including the ability to code your own template, which involves having a lot of HTML on hand, so most of us use the basic templates or the themes templates. Theme templates are pre-designed layouts. You can plug in your images and text and change the colors and fonts, and away you go. You can choose from typical categories using the drop-down at the top. And you may see a template that nearly exactly fits your need. Just know that the theme templates don't allow you a lot of control. It's more what you see is what you get. I nearly always choose the basic templates because I like to have a little bit more control over my layouts. You'll choose your layout based on a grid format, either 1 column, 2 columns, etc. The grid is just the basic layout. You're going to add components, delete components, and create additional rows. The grid you choose is just a starting point. Select any template to preview it. Both the email and the mobile phone preview display will give you an idea of how your campaign will look from your subscriber's perspective. Click the X in the top right to close the preview. When you have chosen a template that you want to use, click the Select button to open that template. You'll notice that the screen splits, with the layout blocks on the right and your template design on the left. At this time, it's very important to remember that you're editing a template. That is, you're making the layout to fit your campaign needs. Later, you'll use this template to create a campaign. You can repeat blocks that are in the standard template by mousing over them and selecting Duplicate the block. For example, we could add a new section to this template with 1 click. If you want to get rid of a component in a template, simply click on the trash can and remove it. You can also drag new blocks into the template using the content blocks on the right. The Design tab lets you control the design at the template level. Here is where you'll design the overall look and feel for your entire template. The page design and the body design are the ones I use all the time. In the Page tab, you're going to set the background, text colors, etc. I'll set my background for the template to be white. If you're planning a newsletter with a branded header image that will always be the same, you can add that image to the header now. This will save you time when you send your newsletters, and if the header changes later, you can just change it in the template and continue. Select Browse, navigate to your image, and import it. Your image is loaded into the template header. Of course, the header is pretty, but now we want to make it useful too. We're going to link this image so that readers who are familiar with HTML-based emails know that they can click the header image to go right to your website. You can do this with any of the images that you add to your newsletters. You can customize the link to the web address, an email, or other options. In this case, we just want to link to the website. You may want to select Open in a new window so your reader doesn't lose the window that they're in right now, like their email inbox, for example. You'll notice that the template we chose has a bunch of tiny Buy Now buttons down at the bottom. And this is great if your newsletters include retail options. But Wisdom Pets doesn't want a salesy newsletter. They want to engage their pet parents and be the go-to source for pet information. So we're going to delete all of these little buttons now. We're going to be using these individual smaller blocks for our blog articles. So we're going to change the template text to make it easier so that when we want to create a new campaign, we'll know what to do. You'll see how we plan to use these blocks in another video. I also noticed that my footer blocks have a gray background, and I want an all-white background for my emails. So we'll change this in the Design tab. You'll see the social share buttons are here on the bottom, and I want to make sure that each of these URLs is accurate. You can also switch these out to use other social media channels if you like. To see how this campaign will look, I can preview it in an email inbox and on a smartphone screen. Enter preview mode. You'll notice that the empty blocks don't have any images or text, and that's okay because we're going to add them when we create the campaign. If we want to add more layout elements to this newsletter, we can, but most of what is here is going to change from newsletter to newsletter, so we're going to save and close this newsletter. We'll type a name for this template, something that we can easily recognize later. It's important to note that if you add design elements at the campaign level later, those layout changes won't be imported back into your template. You'll need to duplicate that effort if you want later campaigns to look the same by making those changes in the template. We've created a single template here in this video, and as I mentioned, you may have lots of different templates depending on the types of emails you're sending to your subscribers. Don't be afraid to create lots of templates because you'll be using them for a lot of different campaigns.